What's up, my friend? My name is André. We'll be reacting to SEAL Team Rescue Jessica Buchanan. But before I go into that, can I ask you for one thing? If you can leave a like on this video, thank you so much, my friend. This is the best way to show support. If you can subscribe, oh man, in that case, forget about it. You make my day. Have that in consideration. Now, link for the original video in my description. I'm already aware of this story, but you guys told me that the best video on YouTube is actually this one, so let's check it out.
We begin with the rescue of Jessica Buchanan. It is the story of a secret mission by SEAL Team 6 that few people had heard about until we first reported the story last year.
Okay.
On a January night in 2012, members of SEAL Team 6 jumped from a plane into the skies of Somalia. Jessica Buchanan was being held hostage, and the SEALs were descending just in time. Buchanan was a humanitarian aid worker who had come to help children in one of the most dangerous places on earth. Hers was an ordeal that ended in a flash of violence, but had begun 93 days earlier when her car was stopped by bandits in a place she calls hell.
Okay, before we actually go into her story, let me say one thing. The first time I reacted to this video, and I will try to put the link right there for the first reaction, not this video, this story better saying, what blew my mind the most was how, first of all, how strong mentally this lady was, also how united America became for her, because at the end of the day they end up spending a lot of money just for one person. And I know some people may not like what I'm about to say, but the reality is other countries would not do it. And America did it. So I think if you are American, you should be very proud of this.
We stopped very abruptly, like so abruptly that I felt like everybody just fall forward. And then I start hearing all of this pounding on the windows and the windshield and all this shouting in Somali. And there's a man standing there screaming, and he has an AK-47 and he's shouting and he's pointing it at us. And then he climbs into the car next to me and he points an AK in my face. And they're hyped up like they're on speed. And all of a sudden we just take off. The driver just takes off and we just start slamming all over the place down these camel tracks.
What did you think they were going to do?
I figured they were going to rape me and then kill me.
Jessica Buchanan.
I mean, how can you not in a situation like that? This lady got also not being a bit lucky. Okay, can we agree with that? I mean, I know America did what they could, and that was amazing, but other situations could have been much worse than this.
And was facing the end at the end of the earth. Somalia, on the farthest tip of Africa, is war-torn and lawless. Militias battle over an unforgiving land, as we saw while covering a famine there in 2011. It was the same year that Buchanan was with a Danish charity teaching children how to avoid landmines. On October 25th, her car was hijacked.
Okay.
And this happens to a great person.
This is it. Like, I'm bracing myself to be shot in the back of the head. And I think that there's mercy in the fact that maybe they're not going to rape me first, but that it's just going to be quick. And I'm waiting, and I'm waiting. And then all of a sudden somebody shouts from behind us, "Sleep." And I'm thinking, oh my God, I didn't hear that correctly, did I? He just said sleep.
She collapsed, slept through the night, and the next morning was met by the man who led the bandits.
And we ask him, "Are you going to kill us? Is that why we're here?" And he says, "No, no, no, no. Money. We just want money."
How much were they asking for?
They started out at $45 million.
They thought you were pretty.
$45 million, and she was not even famous, right? This seems a crazy number to put out there, no? So let's run it back a bit.
How much were they asking for?
They started out at $45 million.
They thought you were pretty valuable.
I guess so.
The bandits used her cell phone to call her husband, Eric Landemam. The two had married on an African beach 2 years before. But his number and the numbers of Buchanan's family had all been disconnected. It was part of the charity's emergency plan. The one number that worked was her Nairobi office with a hostage negotiator standing by. And so began months of talks.
Where did they keep you? Day in?
I mean, I'm actually, a lot of things I don't remember on this story already, but this was months. Oh, Jesus, even 1 day is too much, but months of this is crazy.
Day out.
Sorry, let's take it back. This is
Where did they keep you? Day in, day out.
Under trees. Outside.
You were outdoors for 93 days?
Mm-hmm. Yep. And in the night, they forced us to sleep out in the open.
You and Paul came up with nicknames for a lot of the people who were keeping you. That's one of the ways you kept yourself occupied.
We did.
The 10-year-old boy?
Crack baby. Because he was cracked out all the time. He was chewing cot and he had 2 black holes for eyes. There was nothing inside.
This is one of the camps where she was held. The bandits hit her, pointed their guns at her, and put a knife to her throat. But it was exposure that took a toll. She lost 25 pounds. After 3 weeks,
she lost 25 pounds. I believe that's more or less 10 kilos. That's crazy.
the bandits made a video to prove that she was alive.
Have you seen the video?
I have.
Paul and myself, Jessica, we are safe and we are alive.
I can tell I'm starting to lose hope at that point.
But hope would have to last for 2 more months.
As the many weeks
Hope had to last to 2 more months. Oh, so this was just in the first month, this video. Man. The thing is, with those Somalian guys, they have nothing to lose, you know. They are just, like they are explaining, in drugs and... oh, man.
went by, did you think the American government's watching me, they know where I am, and somebody's going to get me out of here?
No.
Why?
Because I'm just an aid worker.
You didn't imagine that the
I mean, this makes sense for her to have no hope, to be honest.
President of the United States knew your name.
Never. Never in a million years.
After 3 months in the desert, Buchanan had a serious urinary tract infection, and in a final call to the hostage negotiator, she said this.
I'd become so ill that I couldn't stand up, I couldn't walk, so I was in so much pain. And I said, I think I have a kidney infection. And I started to cry and I said, I'm afraid I'm going to die out here.
And that was a real possibility. This is insane.
When that call was received here in Nairobi, it set off a chain of events that led all the way to the Oval Office. The FBI and the military consulted doctors who said that if Jessica had a kidney infection, she might have just 2 weeks to live. That was transmitted to the president, who was also informed that in just a few days, there would be a new moon. Perfect darkness for a SEAL team rescue.
Jessica Buchanan had chosen a star in the Somali sky to represent her mother, who had passed away a year before. She spoke to it every night, and with no moon, it was especially bright on January 25th.
What did you say that night?
Please tell God that I need some help. We need to get out of here.
You couldn't have known that that prayer would be answered that night.
I had no idea.
She was on a mat.
Imagine being in her situation and she asks for help. She asks God for help and the Navy SEALs are coming. Oh man, if you do not believe in God, I think you automatically become believer.
Trying to sleep,
when she heard a faint scratching noise. One of the bandits she nicknamed Helper heard it too.
And I see this look of just sheer terror on Helper's face. And then all of a sudden, it's just this eruption of gunfire. And I think, okay, well, this is it. This really is truly the end. And I cover up with my blanket again, and I just start saying, oh God, oh God, oh God. And I just remember thinking, or maybe I'm saying out loud, like, I cannot survive this.
She thought she was being taken by a rival group, maybe Al-Shabaab, Islamic extremists who would surely kill her.
And then all of a sudden, I feel all these hands on me, roughly grabbing at me. And I try to protect myself, and I pull the blanket closer on top of me, and then I hear my name. But it's not a Somali accent, it's an American accent.
It's good.
And I can't compute, like I can't understand that somebody with an American accent knows my name. And they say, Jessica, we're with the American military. We're here to take you home, and you're safe.
Man, that's so great. I'm sorry. Oh, man. I almost get emotional on this because it's so... Yeah, I'm so happy that there is people like that fight for us.
And I pull the blanket down from my face, and all I see is black masks, black sky, and all I can say over and over is, you're American. You're American. I don't understand. You're Americans. Thinking, how did you get here? And I'm still alive.
That's great.
And they ask me where my shoes are, and I don't know. And one of them picks me up and starts running. He runs for several minutes and puts me down on the ground. And then they identify themselves, and that they knew I was very sick. And they have medicine, they have water, they have food, and they've come to take me home. At one point, I think they thought they heard something, or I don't know, this group of men.
Okay, let me be honest, my friend. This makes me so happy. You guys have no idea. Look, one thing that I pride myself on these reactions is I really get involved in these stories. I pay a lot of attention to, specific if it's something that you guys recommend. And this story I was already aware, but her words I think are a bit more powerful than actually the video I saw telling the story. It's crazy to see, you know, someone that ended up suffering for so long, all of a sudden, their own nation saves her, you know, and I love it. I really, really like that.
And who's risked their life for me already asks me to lie down on the ground because they're concerned that there might be someone out there, and then they make a circle around me, and then they lie down on top of me.
That's
to protect me. And we lay like that until the helicopters come in.
When all of those SEALs laid down on top of you, you were the most important thing in the world to them.
It's really hard to comprehend.
They were going to take a bullet for you.
Mm-hmm.
Again, that's why we have to respect those guys so much. Everyone, does not matter if he's even in the US, everyone that represents their country, that fights for the freedom of their people. Man, if you don't respect those guys, you are a garbage human being. It is what it is.
And they're so kind, and they're so gentle, and they are trying to assist me to get to the helicopter. But I think I've been out here for months. I can run to this helicopter myself, and so I just break away and I just take off running through the scrub, through the bush, and I throw myself onto that helicopter and push myself up against the wall. and I don't start breathing until we actually lift up off the ground. And they hand me an American flag that's folded.
What did you think of that?
I just started to cry. At that point in time, I have never in my life been so proud and so very happy to be an American.
The
I mean,
SEALs
I'm proud of American right now, and I'm not American.
left on other helicopters. She didn't see their faces, didn't hear their names. They appeared, and they were gone. The only thing left in the camp
Heroes.
were 9 dead bandits.
So my friends, it's everything for today. I thought this was a great video. I was aware of this story, but it was still impactful for me to see it again. And man, I say this a lot of times, but I really admire a lot of American things, and the military, the brave that a lot of those soldiers shows is one of the things that I admire the most. And I also think it's amazing to see how can you guys all unite when things are going bad, basically. And one life is even if one of you guys are in danger, that's enough, you know, to actually fight for that person. So thank you for watching, my friends. Do not forget to leave a like. See you guys next time. Bye.